Hello everybody and welcome to Slay the Spire, playing as the Silent on Ascension 6. This is Act 3 versus the Awakened one, which is kind of nice because we were offered a couple of powers along the way and passed on them, which is not like the old, lesser experienced me. Act 1 we basically buffed, got a whole bunch of poison and weak to go along with Snecko Skull, which is great. In Act 2 we picked up Orichalcum and the Specimen, which does play nicely with Snecko Skull. In Act 1 we got the Warped Tongs. We also have an Akabeko Bag of Marbles combo, which is kind of nice. And we got the Singing Bowl, which is nice because we did take the Apparitions event. We were able to up our card draw and even up our energy levels to compensate. This plays well with Tools of the Trade as well as the two Acrobatics. And because of all of our draw, we also have a Storm of Steel to help accelerate the fights. Also of note is Catalyst Plus. I didn't want to overlook that. Even when played on a relatively low stack, it's just a nice way to accelerate the fight. Yeah, we actually pulled that out on the Bronze Automaton, and one of the ads added a big old stack to Bronze Automaton, which is nice. Alright, so I like seeing all these elites at the very end. This is a path of 2 already. These are all 1. And a good amount of campfires as well. This will not lead us to this. So we probably would need to go through there. Do we have enough money for a store? Let's take a look at whether or not we get another store. We don't, so we could just take the store now to not only have some opportunities, but also to avoid excessive hallway fights. I don't know how much the hallway fights scare us, though, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, I hadn't considered how Storm of Steel plays nicely with the Bag of Prep. So this is free. And it made Survivor free. Don't know if that's important to us, though. We play the Apparition. We do have a need to block for 1, so let's backflip. We picked this up, so let's see. I have 8 cards. This gives me a full hand. We discard the Tactician. We don't really have anything of note here. We have 2 energy, so I'll go ahead and Flying Knee to get the most out of the Bag of Marbles here, and then we can Storm of Steel for a whole lot of Bag of Marbles damage. I think I recently said in a video if somebody could tell me how Storm of Steel, so I actually bothered to look it up. I think I'll discard to burn. Yeah, that seems good. Now we have 5 energy, which is great, because we can do this for this turn, this for next turn. This will do that. There we go. That is just lethal, but we can make it more positive, I imagine. I neutralized them. Footwork. Ugh. That is a rough call because once the apparitions wear off, we don't have a lot of blocking cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. In a deck that will be -5, 6, 7, 8, 9. -9 in a deck that is 17 cards. So that's 1 and 3, or 2 per hand on average. Slightly less than 2. That said, by the end of Act 3 we will be in fights longer than what the apparitions will do for us. And we do have the mummified hand, so I'll go ahead and just take it. We are also a little low, if I'm not mistaken, on things that we would want to spend campfire upgrades on, so this is fine. I think this is another good one. Yeah. Extra 2 damage per card. That's pretty good. Hmm. Okay. With the mummified hand, I'm okay with that. It is scaling damage, so we won't bother to upgrade it, of course. That would just be interference. Pancake, or I mean the waffle. Card remove. Dark Shackles. With the apparitions, the Dark Shackles, we would just be spinning it in our deck until the apparitions wore off, so I don't think that's such a good idea. If we take the card remove, we will not be able to take the waffle. Gonna take the card remove. With our increase in draw, these, even with the warped tongs, these just become... We're starting to outgrow the warped tongs, so I don't want to keep bringing it up. In fact, the thinner our deck gets, the more the warped tongs hit the apparitions, which takes away our need to play them in unfavorable situations. So yeah, I definitely think the card remove is good, and I do think we're going to go with a strike. Because we are approaching a point where we're going to need to be considering a post-apparition world, and we are going to need some black cards, which we don't have. It's a weird thing, right? Because the black cards actually get in the way up front, but then once the apparitions wear off, so we're going to have to strike a bit of a balance there. Which means in the long run, our overall ability to block is going to be probably slightly diminished. Okay, so this is free, and make something else free. Noxious Fumes, that's funny, because that would be the next thing we would want to do. And that's funny, because that's the next thing we would want to do. Right on. Okay, we can discard that. Play an Apparition. Backflip. Should have bought the third Acrobatics, because we ran into a situation similar to this last fight. Alright, so this will not be a Storm of Steel turn, I don't think. We have too much to do. Alright, let's take advantage of that. And we might as well put the Neutralize on the same target. The apparitions kick it forward, so the weak's not very important at the moment, so this is just a damage card. And the fact that these guys have to all fall down at the same time, maybe I should have divvied up the damage, because we'll probably just let the, well, we can't be slow about it because the apparition's expiring. Discard. Huh. Guess we'll discard this. It already got the buff. Play this to kick the can down the road. This is just really good. We can accelerate over here where the damage actually gets through armor. And now the Acrobatics has nothing useful to do, so... I forgot about Orichalcum, which is good, because... I mean, good that we have it, because I did forget to provide for... Because you guys got to remember, the apparition's not just you're like invincible; it's intangible. It's a little different. I sometimes forget that. Right, put that in play. Kick the can down the road. Let's see. Yeah, because the other guy's got more poison. Might as well play that. It's more block overall. Not that it matters. Alright, so this works out. We could probably actively kill these two to avoid the possibility that he revives while they're dying. All that poison. Nice. Cool. Explodey Potion. I think I like the ones we have better. We do get a lot of weak, but I don't think that means take this card. It's an okay early pickup, and if you're heading towards infinite, you can do that, but I don't think it has a place here. I think we'd rather just continue racking up that max HP, recover from the apparitions acquisitions. The constricted does do 1 damage if you're intangible, so just thought I'd point that out. We have tools of the trade here. We can acrobatics, and since he's not attacking, we don't actually need energy here. So if we discard an apparition, actually, you know what? Hold that thought. I will get the energy here so that after we Crippling Cloud, we can Catalyst, and now I will Storm of Steel to discard the apparitions. You know, when I took that card, I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's a very valid consideration. Because our intangibles, our apparitions are not pluses, they will be ethereal, but if we can discard them, because we didn't need it that turn, right? So now they're still in our deck, which is fantastic. Alright, let's do this. Backflip, see if we can find an intangible. We did. There we go. So that means we can spend the rest of the turn setting up. I forgot about them costing things, making things cost 0. If I had remembered, I might have acrobatics in there somewhere, depending on the order of things. But this is fine. He's just done for. Mostly. Alright, we have Orichalcum, so we don't need that. That makes something free, which means we get to just play everything. Cool. Orichalcum plus intangible is amazing. Yeah, got hit by the... I was overthinking it a little bit at the end there. Piercing Wail, ugh. Another, just like the Dark Shackles, with all the apparitions, we'd just be toting it around until they wore off. So, alternatively, if we did have a bigger deck, having something like this to fill the spots in between intangibles could be okay. Or if we had well-laid plans, but I'm cool with just racking up that max HP. I am. I've got Campfire here. I'm going to highlight it so I don't forget it. It is off what looks to be a straighter path, so... Alright. Wow. Alright, this makes something free, so that's extra energy. Make something... Wow, it's like a Power Palooza here. And it kicks it up to this one, which is great. That probably would be our next one. Discard an apparition to keep it active, because we only need the one. We'll play the footwork because it is a power. Makes the backflip free, which is great, because after apparition we are going to want some block. What a first turn that was. Alright, so this is just lethal here, which helps as far as the wounds, which we can discard, so it's not the end of the world. Alright. Come on, Crippling Cloud. This would be a great time for it. Crippling Cloud, apparition in one form of... Well, no, we don't need the one form of block. I stand corrected. There's the Crippling Cloud. Discard an apparition to preserve it. So we do this. And we do this. This kills this guy this turn. This kills that guy. Nice. I always worry when they die simultaneously like that, but in sequence, if it'll rectify itself. And it did. Alright, Tactician to get the extra energy. Play the apparition. Acrobatics. We don't need that. Don't want that getting discarded. This adds weak, that's fine. This adds poison, that's fine. Oh, whoops, I had forgotten about the Shiv versus Shiv Plus That's okay, this fight's over. And it was very easy. Nope, just practicing. Not sure that was the best line, but that's part of the reason why I'm practicing. Now we get the molten egg. Oh, that's molten. Never mind. Alright, smiling mask. We might actually make use of that. Molten egg is quest rewards. Flex potion. Is actually better than this in the context of Storm of Steel. With all the draw we have, this is worth considering, and upon considering, I've decided that we haven't really had energy issues. I'd rather pick up like Reflex and Tactician. I don't think Dagger Throw Plus is worth adding just because we have some discard synergies. Okay, so this is a fight where we really want to lean in on the poison to do the finishing for us. Because if we stack it up, then it's just going to meet his rising demands. From here, we should be able to just Storm of Steel it. Keep in mind, we're not actually going for a kill here. We're just trying to make it to where he can't touch us. And discarding the apparition there means it has been preserved. So really, I guess apparitions is most valuable in this class since it has the discard synergies. Let's play that. Makes this 0. Makes this 0, which is not very useful. Wow. That's funny. Alright, so we're going to lose an apparition here, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it could be argued that losing the apparition is a positive thing. Thins the deck in a scenario where we don't actually need it. Made the backflip cost 0, that's perfect. Storm of Steel. Is not very useful here. Go ahead and apparition. Two more turns. Oof, okay. And we don't even need to do that because of Orichalcum, but whatever. Sometimes you don't want to do it because you're punished for the cards you play. Sometimes you want to do it because like 1,000 cuts will reward you for cards played. That's funny. Ten cards. There we go. I'll play this Shiv so we're not actually regurgitating it. Yeah, I really wish I had bought that third Acrobatics. Alright. Easy peasy. Second Tactician. Makes me regret not grabbing the third Acrobatics even more. Alright. So for that reason, I'll stick with upgrading that. We do have quite a bit of campfires this act. So, in fact, we can go this way to go to for that reason. Have to take the blue key here It's unfortunate because, well, it's neither here nor there. With the intangibles and orichalcum, how often are we going to be getting hit? So we don't really lose out on not getting the Centennial puzzle. Wow, okay. This gives us poison as well as better use of our bag of marbles. And it don't matter if these are stagger killed, so we'll just do that. And in fact, because of the specimen, we'll just go ahead and help nature. In fact, it was nice there because it told us which one we wanted to attack next. Playing the powers first because we have a couple of 2-cost cards. Didn't work out how I would have liked. But we still get to do all of this, so that's fine. Should be an easy kill now. Oh yeah. There we go. We don't have to do anything else. There's well-laid plans plus. I like it for multiple reasons. I like it because it prevents our garbage from getting recycled, effectively shrinking the deck. I like it because we have the mummified hand, and I like it because we have Storm of Steel. So this makes sure that our subsequent hands are 2 cards larger, assuming we have the cards remaining in there after we play our stuff. So that's a good add, I think. The only real downside is it's the awakened one, so we get punished. Go ahead and do footwork. Storm of Steel seems like more immediate value here. We'll get footwork and then red key moving forward. Alrighty, let's see. Well, Noxious Fumes hits the Crippling Cloud, very good. We'll now have the room for acrobatics. Get some energy, play the Infinite Blades to set up. We do want to play an apparition, so there's that. Which means we now have room in hand acrobatics. We found the Storm of Steel, very good. Let's Catalyst, and then Storm of Steel. We'll get the most out of that bag of marbles. Look at that. Not bad, eh? Orichalcum, hit it. Alright, so now it gets a little awkward because he's going to alternate intangibles, but we can do that too. And we get the tools of the trade, so from now on we can actually discard the intangibles we're not actually going to play. This adds poison. This adds energy next turn. We can afford to take some damage. I was going to drink the block potion, and we don't bother playing the Shiv because we can just keep it. Excuse me, Shiv Plus. In fact, it might have been worth keeping the Flying Knee as well. Maybe. It only now just occurred to me that the Infinite Blades plays very nicely with the Storm of Steel as well. Alright, too bad we don't have ice cream. We're going to have a lot of unspent energy. This is actually the reason why I discarded the non-upgraded apparition. And I'm going to let the survivor discard because we have the apparition. That way warped tongs won't hit survivor, which is pretty useless to us. Yeah, the fight's just over. Gee, I wonder what I'll be discarding. Oh, he's intangible, so the fight's not just over. Well, la-di-da. Alright. The Orichalcum will still reduce the damage to, or block this, I'm just trying to say. Alright, so I actually want the Tactician and... Did we not get burned? What happened there? Big ol' hand. Just practicing. We got room in hand, so we do that. Discard that. Storm of Steel. Boo, 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 boo. Bronze Scales. Ancient tea set is map related. We actually had a Fear Potion when we got rid of it, so I'll stick to the plan here. Accuracy. Storm of Steel actually does get us a lot of attack. It just now occurred to me, though, that come Heart, the Storm of Steel can be a little problematic. Point being is it's more of a luxury than anything, so I don't think grabbing accuracy just for it makes as much sense as the max HP here. Oh, I already did the Storm of Steel, that's right, I forgot. I was looking for it. Alright, so as long as we don't forget to grab the red key at the last campfire, we should be golden. Wow, okay. Setup, that hit Apparition. That's unfortunate. That hit Acrobatics, that's what I was looking for. We now have room in hand, which, by the way, that's why I turn these numbers on, so I can more quickly identify what the hand size is. That makes something free. That'll make something free. Alright, so we want to play this Apparition. We don't need to play a black, but because of the slow, we actually benefit from doing so. So I will play this. And I didn't realize till just now that we had this available to us, but again, I was playing it for the... I'm not going to play this just to load up the slow, that would seem silly. We get the most out. 51, that's a pretty good first hit. That was a pretty good first turn. Wow, okay. Discard that because we're not going to need any this turn. This is a tough call. Do we discard the Shiv? I don't think so. With the Storm of Steel, just upgrading it seems to make more sense, right? Because the fact that we're throwing a zero-cost attack back in the deck doesn't matter so much. We are drawing an extra card. We have a good amount of draw. We have the ability to hold cards. And, of course, we have the ability to upgrade them. So, I think this is fine. And I believe Catalyst is coming up. That will accelerate the fight quite nicely. He is attacking. Yeah, we don't even need an Apparition here. So I'm just going to Poison Stab. I'm thinking about everything but Acrobatics here, so I'll play this first. And we do want to play this ahead of this, but we'll do these next so that these now hit the hardest. Alright. Full block is good enough. Oh yeah, and we get to keep it. I forgot about that. Even better. This is my biggest problem, or was my biggest problem with acrobatics, is I always had a hard time picking up my first one because it's like, when am I going to play this? And as that last hand showed, just because you have one in hand doesn't mean that you have to play it. Trying to find a way to fit in the acrobatics, and I think I found it. We're already apparition, so good enough. Cool. I'm still wondering what the deck would behave like if we had taken that third acrobatics. Seems to be doing fine without. And definitely let me know what you guys think, because I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into the Storm of Steel. So let me know if you see that I'm playing it wrong. Like, for example, discarding a strike just to get a Shiv Plus that's going to do the same damage. As an example. We have lethal here, so we don't actually need these apparitions. Right. Almost made it official. Dead. Blue Candle. We have no curses. Eternal Feather. That's really nice. Poison Potion. Bit redundant. Could be used to strip away artifact, but we have that here, and we have lots of debuffs in the deck, so I'm not going to discard one of those in favor of it. Dodge and roll. I was talking about needing some block. Once the... and this is already plus, so it's a good one. Call Traps would be more of the same, so I'll just take the dodge and roll here. And now we hit the campfire where we heal and grab the red key, and we are off to the races. Actually, that dodge and roll was perfect, because this is probably going to be the first fight where the intangibles running out is going to be a real thing. Didn't hit the crippling cloud. That's very sad. Yikes. Alright, so we do want to play this. And we do want to play this. We have no way of discarding the other ones, so we're just going to have to stack them. A little unfortunate. Now we can't play the leg sweep, which is a little unfortunate. But we are covered for now, so let's just do the nuke thing over here, because he's got less health. Oh, because it didn't cost nothing. Right. Alright, and we don't need the block, so we'll just keep going. The specimen is going to be really nice for his first form. After he expires and the second form comes along, we're going to have a really hard time ramping up that poison. For that reason, we might consider holding on to Catalyst until second form, because that's when the intangibles are going to be wearing off and the fight's just going to get really kind of nasty. Alternatively, we can fight him straight up and save the apparitions for the second form. That's why I'm discarding this over this. We already have 6 energy, and with having Storm of Steel in hand, we're not even going to need it. So I'll discard that. Of course, it just now occurred to me that because we have Storm of Steel, we're just going to be discarding that anyways. So we are under the effects of intangible, so Orichalcum's got our back. Don't need to kill him, although if we did so proactively, Let's see, 5:30. All right. That's unfortunate. So what I should have done is, realizing he wasn't going to die this turn, I should have accounted for his existing poison stack and then put the other ones over here. But it worked out because of the thorns. Discard one of the apparitions. If we had the block, I'd go ahead and discard the other one, but we don't. So this run I learned something about the power of discard. I already knew about it for status effects, but things like preserving. We have 2 apparitions left in the deck. Alright. I don't really want to discard any of these, because if we can't find an apparition, we're going to need them. So I'm actually going to discard the Shiv. It is the least important card here. Found one. Good. Alright. So is that increase poison? We will increase weak just because we might find ourselves in a situation where that's important. So unfortunately he's not dying fast enough. Oh, that's right. I was thinking about keeping the apparition, so I should have seen how easy it would have been to block straight up there. Alright, for that reason I will go ahead and do this. Yeah, here I think we can just block straight up, so let's do it. Yep. Alrighty. Nice. Both acrobatics are still on the deck. Okay. These pair well together. Yeah, he's almost done for here. Just try to block straight up. If possible. We did not draw... Oh, yeah, we did. Alright, so this gets us down to the point where we can do this. Just trying to kick the block down to the next turn, because now we should be able to finish the fight this turn. Alright, so now we have one apparition, we still have Catalyst in the deck, and we have Dodge and Roll kicking in this next turn. So that should be a good first turn as far as getting started here. We need to do this to see where that takes us. Very good. It's weird. It's because I want to focus on the block, but if we play this, then we might draw into the apparition. So I think I'm going to have to split the difference here and take a little bit. I didn't realize it was going to be that little bit, otherwise I wouldn't have pined over it quite that much. We'll play that next turn. Not sure. Can we block as much as we'd like? Well, first let me do this and this, because now we've accelerated the fight. Can we block the straight up and hold on to the apparition? And if so, can we do it in 2? Yes, we can, because we have some... inexplicably have 20 block to start with here, so... 1, 2, which allows us to discard the apparition, keeping it within our sphere of influence. Yeah, I think I could have played the first half of this fight a little better and kept more than just the one apparition. So in these longer fights, the apparitions should be a I can't block for enough, get me out of jail this turn kind of situation. Note to self. Okay, did not find an apparition. He's got enough weak for the rest of the fight, so let's partially block like this. And this is close enough, which means we have 2 energy with which to do that, and then this. Cool. Take 2 damage here, not a big deal. And now we don't even need the final apparition, really. I'll play it because it's here, and it's the last turn, so... Or at least the last turn. Oh, yep, it was the last turn. We didn't even... That one didn't even matter. He's just done for. Okay, so that was a little awkward, but I think I got through it. Still, I'm at that point in the game where I'm pretty good, but I'm learning at the finer strategies. So I appreciate you guys joining me on that journey. Let me know your thoughts on it down below, and I'll see you guys in the final act. Take care.